Wide skid-resistant steps help prevent slipping while getting in or out of the operator station. These steps also provide a place to clean your shoes before climbing onto the machine. Handrails are large and strategically placed for easy grasping during entry and exit. It's important that you face the unit and maintain at least 3 points of contact, 2 hands and a foot or 2 feet and a hand. Excellent ventilation is provided by opening both doors. Make sure that they are securely latched. If you want to close up the cab, the door release is easy to reach. The windows on each side open up for even more air circulation. An option lets you choose from several opening sizes. The lower front windows may also be opened if equipped with that option. The seat in the motor grader is easy to adjust. To adjust seat height, press the engine start switch once to energize the ignition. Push on the knob to raise the seat. Pull on the knob to lower the seat. Pull up on the fore-aft adjustment lever to move the seat forward or backward. Release the lever at the desired position to lock the seat in place. Move the ride firmness adjustment lever to adjust the firmness of the ride. The lever on the side lets you adjust the seat back angle. The lumbar support control is on the back of the seat. A retractable seat belt comfortably and securely holds you in the seat. In the event of an overturn, that's where you want to stay. For these reasons, the seat belt should be kept in proper working order. Be aware of its condition and replace when necessary, at least every 3 years, regardless of appearance. The armrest angle is easily adjusted with the knob on the bottom. Now let's turn our attention to the floor controls. On the far right is the accelerator pedal. Next to it is the brake pedal. On the left is the inching pedal. This pedal is used for stopping and starting while in gear. It is not required for shifting or changing directions. Behind the accelerator and brake pedals is the decelerator if equipped. The decelerator decreases engine speed when using the engine speed control, which will be explained later. Near the floor on the right side is the windshield washer reservoir. Depressing this foot pedal at the bottom of the console lets you pull the console towards you to a comfortable position. For additional comfort, the steering wheel can be tilted by pulling on the lever below the steering wheel. Controls behind the steering wheel include the turn signals. In the center is the horn button. On the right is the bright dim control if the headlights are illuminated. The differential lock on-off switch is located here as well. It can be engaged and disengaged on the go to improve traction. If the machine is equipped with the optional blade impact absorption system, an activation switch is located on the front. The system offers a cushion or protection when an immovable object is contacted by the blade. Controls for the blade and auxiliary attachments are located up front. On the left side, the far left lever controls the blade cylinder lower and raise. The next lever is the blade side shift control, which moves the blade left and right. Next is the circle rotation control. The circle rotates to change the angle of the blade. It can be rotated a full 360 degrees. This lever controls blade pitch. The pitch changes the angle of the cutting edge. Adjusting the blade pitch according to the material conditions optimizes the rolling action across the moldboard. This lever controls a rear auxiliary attachment, typically a ripper. The outside lever on the right is the right blade control. It is used in combination with the left blade control as we saw earlier. Pushing both levers forward into detent will put the blade into the float position. The blade rests on its own weight with no hydraulic pressure. This lever controls wheel lean. This is a hydraulic movement that angles the wheels up to 20 degrees left or right. It can be used to offset side draft and to decrease turning radius. The left lever controls the circle side shift, which moves the circle from side to side. It is used to obtain reach and to offset side draft. The articulation control is used to change the angle between the front and rear frames of the grader. It is helpful in a number of ways: in steering, in offsetting side draft, and in visibility. This lever controls a front auxiliary attachment if equipped. From the factory, the LCD color monitor comes mounted on the top of the front console. If the operator prefers, or an automatic grade control system is installed, the monitor can be easily moved to the right side with a special bracket. In either case, the angle of the monitor can be adjusted. Activating the ignition activates the monitor. Let's freeze the picture momentarily and identify what you see. The first screen displays the John Deere logo. The second screen displays the main menu and also bulb checks several icons on the left and right sides of the monitor for various machine functions. On the left, from top to bottom, these include the stop service indicator, engine heater indicator if equipped or exhaust filter cleaning indicator, engine oil pressure indicator, battery voltage indicator or secondary steering indicator if equipped, exhaust filter auto cleaning disabled or engine emission systems malfunction indicator, check transmission or six-wheel drive indicators if equipped, hydraulic oil temperature indicator, or engine air filter, or transmission oil filter, or six-wheel drive filter restriction indicators if equipped, and left turn indicator. On the right side of the monitor from top to bottom are the park brake indicator, low brake pressure indicator, saddle lock pin differential lock indicator, lever steer indicator if equipped, engine speed control indicator, high beam indicator, auto blade control indicator, and right turn indicator. Note: if the service required indicator illuminates, a problem is developing in a system, which is usually also displayed on the screen. It is not necessary to stop the engine, but the cause should be investigated as soon as possible. If the red stop indicator illuminates and the alarm sounds, stop the engine immediately and investigate the cause. After the initial screen and bulb check, the normal screen is displayed. The three gauges show the articulation angle, transmission temperature, and engine coolant temperature. Along the left side, from the bottom to the top, is the speedometer, DEF level gauge, fuel level gauge, hour meter, and tachometer. Below the gauges you will find the odometer indicator, trip meter, ambient temperature indicator and clock, exhaust filter cleaning indicator, and transport time remaining. These indicators can be scrolled by pressing the up or down arrows at the top of the display. Using the left and right arrows above the monitor, you may scroll between the gauges, the cross-slope screen if equipped, and a codes list. Pressing the menu button allows you to display information or interact with the different aspects of the unit. The main groups include display settings, calibrations, eco mode, security, machine setup, diagnostics, machine fan, job timer, about, software update, and exhaust filter. Refer to the operator's manual for specific instructions on how to use each function. Pressing the menu button returns the display to normal view. On the right side of the cab is the sealed switch module, or SSM for short. The switches on this pad activate many features on the grader. The pad is also used for security. It can be configured with up to 10 different security PIN codes. To start the machine, the operator must enter a proper code using the inset numbers on the pad. The green switch in the upper left is the engine start. Press it once to energize the ignition and display. After the display unit is initialized, press and hold the switch to start the engine. The red stop switch to the right will shut off the engine. Let's activate the ignition again and look at the other switches on the pad. The next switch turns on a beacon option. With one press, the left LED illuminates, the left beacon turns on if equipped. With the second press of the switch, the right LED illuminates, the right beacon turns on if equipped. With a third press of the switch, both LEDs illuminate and both beacons turn on if equipped. A fourth press turns all beacons off. By pressing the hazard light switch, the four-way flashers on the front and rear will flash. Another push will shut them off. The left switch on the second row releases or applies the park brake. With the LED on, the park brake is applied. With the LED off, the park brake is released. To the right is the front work light switch. If equipped, the two front lights illuminate. Next is the frame light switch. If equipped, it illuminates the lights on each side of the frame and the lower lights. To the far right is the drive light switch. The marker lights illuminate with one press. A second press with two LEDs illuminated turns on the headlights. As we saw earlier, the bright dim switch is located on the front console. The left switch on the third row is used to move the saddle to different positions. The saddle can be shifted to obtain more reach. To demonstrate, the operator will place the blade slightly to the right with the cutting edge firmly on the ground. He moves the blade lift levers into float to lower the mold board to the ground. Now the operator pushes and holds the locking pin switch. The light will illuminate once the controller has received the signal. The saddle lock indicator on the display will then illuminate once the pin has shifted to the unlock position. If the locking pin does not disengage, shifting the circle slightly to remove pressure from the pin may help. The blade lift and circle side shift controls are now used to move the saddle into the desired position. You can check the position by watching the lift arm indicator. When in position, engage the locking pin by pressing and releasing the switch on the SSM. If the locking pin does not engage, shift the circle slightly to align the locking pin with the locking hole. Be sure the locking pin indicator on the display goes out, which indicates that the locking pin is engaged. For more detailed instructions about moving the saddle to different positions, including into bank cut, refer to the operator's manual. The next switch has three positions for the cab corner lights if equipped. With the left LED illuminated, the front corner lights are on. With the middle LED illuminated, both the front and back corner lights are on. With the right LED illuminated, just the right corner lights are on. With no LEDs illuminated, the lights are off. This switch turns on and off the cab side work lights if equipped. The side work lights are mainly designed for snowplow work and are located here on this unit. The next switch is the upper front windshield washer. Push and hold it to operate the washer. The wiper will automatically swipe several cycles. Next to it is the front wiper switch. With the left LED illuminated, the wiper is in intermittent mode. With the middle LED illuminated, the wiper is in constant low speed. High speed is with the right LED illuminated. Another push turns off the wipers. The left switch in the fourth row turns the air conditioning compressor on and off. The next switch on the fourth row turns on and off the outside heated mirrors if equipped. This unit does not have this option, so the light does not illuminate when pushed. If equipped and turned on, the heaters will automatically shut off after 15 minutes. The next switch is the rear window defog. Note that the defogger will automatically turn off after 5 minutes of operation. The next switch is the lower windshield washer. Push and hold it to operate the washer. The wiper will automatically swipe several cycles. Next is the lower front wiper switch. With the left LED illuminated, the wiper is in intermittent mode. With the middle LED illuminated, it is in constant low speed. High speed is with the right LED illuminated. Another push turns off the wipers. The left switch in the bottom row is for transmission auto shift. If equipped, pressing the switch will activate the system. It is used when roading in 4th through 8th gears. For instance, if the light is illuminated and the gear selector is placed in 8th gear, the transmission will automatically shift between 4th gear and 8th gear depending upon conditions. When auto shift is activated, an icon is shown on the front display. The next switch is for the automatic differential lock. With the LED illuminated, the rear axle is locked so that the right and left wheels turn together when the grader is traveling straight in 4th gear or below. However, if the front wheels are turned so that they are at a different angle than the tandems, the differential lock will automatically disengage. Once the front wheels are aligned back to the same angle as the rears, the auto diff lock will re-engage. The next switch is the rear wiper washer. Push and hold it to operate the washer. The wiper will automatically swipe several cycles. The lower right switch controls the rear wiper. With the left LED illuminated, the wiper is in intermittent mode. With the right LED illuminated, the wiper is constantly on. Another push turns off the wiper. A reference decal is located to the right that describes each switch. To the right, below the sealed switch module, are several operational controls. You can select from between 8 forward and 8 reverse speeds. To go from forward to reverse, the operator simply bumps the lever from left to right. The transmission control lever does not need to go through neutral to be placed in reverse gear. A very important feature provided by the park brake system is its automatic engagement. Anytime the ignition is turned off or the park brake switch is enabled, the park brake automatically engages. If the unit happens to be moving at the time, it must slow to under 1 mile per hour before the park brake will engage. However, if the operator quickly depresses the stop switch twice or holds the stop switch, the park brake will engage immediately. Behind the transmission lever are the engine speed control and the 6-wheel drive controls if equipped. The engine speed control is similar in a general way to cruise control in your car. It has 2 modes, automatic and manual. In automatic mode, you use the accelerator pedal to set your engine speed. The speed is set by moving the switch forward toward rabbit. That RPM will be maintained when you release the accelerator, just like cruise control in your car. Once set, the speed can be adjusted by bumping the toggle either forward for faster or rearward for slower. Each bump changes the speed by 50 RPM. Holding the switch in either direction for more than 2 seconds will ramp the speed until it's released or the RPM limits are reached. Once the engine speed is set, there are 2 ways to disable the system. One is by pushing on the brake pedal. The other is depressing the accelerator to 85% or more of maximum speed. To reactivate the system and return to the previously set RPM, bump the toggle switch to the rear towards the turtle. Moving the switch to the center position will turn off the engine speed operation. In manual mode, the engine speed control system operates exactly the same as in automatic with one significant difference. Depressing the brake or the accelerator past 85% has no impact on the set speed. The operator needs to use the turtle or decrease switch or shut manual mode off to return the machine to idle. Pushing this switch activates the 6-wheel drive system in 1st through 7th gears in both directions on 672, 772, and 872 models. On the 622, 6-wheel drive is active in gears 1 through 4 in both directions. Once on, the aggressiveness dial is used to fine-tune the front wheel speed in relation to the rear wheels. When the dial is in the center position with the arrow pointed toward the notch, front tire speed matches rear tire speed in forward and reverse. Turning the knob counterclockwise will decrease the speed of the front wheels in relation to the back tandems. Turning the knob clockwise will increase front wheel aggressiveness. The system can be engaged and disengaged on the go. 6-wheel drive is useful in counteracting side drafts and for steering the unit in adverse conditions. It is also helpful when working on slopes. John Deere has selectable hydrostatic front-wheel drive inching capability. In the off position, the front-wheel drive shuts off when the inching pedal is depressed. In the on position, the front-wheel drive remains on and slows or increases with the tandems depending on how far the pedal is depressed or released. This allows the operator to do fine grading with front-wheel drive turned on. The operator does not have to worry about the front wheels cutting out when modulating speed with the inching pedal. This inching capability operates in forward and reverse gears 1 through 3. 6-wheel drive units also have a precision mode. With the switch in the back position, only the front tires are powered. This is helpful in extremely fine grading conditions. Ground speed is a function of gear shift lever position, engine speed, and the position of the speed dial. There are 15 different settings. These settings are displayed in the monitor, as well as a snail to indicate that you are in precision mode. Precision mode works in gears 1 through 3 forward only. In the right rear of the cab, you have a switch for the heated seat if equipped. Also, here is a dial to control the temperature, blower fan speed, and airflow. Above the HVAC controls is a fire extinguisher if equipped. On the left of the operator's seat are 2 12-volt power receptacles and the service advisor connecting port. Next to that are the fuses. A decal on the fuse box cover provides the description and location of each fuse. Below the fuses is storage for a lunchbox or cell phone. There is also a cup holder. Removing this cover will allow access to the cab fresh air and recirculating filters for checking and replacement. Behind the operator is a retractable sunshade if equipped. A movable sun visor is available for the front. To help you see around the unit, a wide-angle interior rear-view mirror is standard equipment. The rear-view camera monitor, if equipped, is located above the wide-angle interior mirror. When the ignition is on, the rear-view monitor will display real-time video of objects behind the machine. Exterior mirrors are also standard. Make sure they are properly adjusted. Just below the headliner are two storage areas, one to the left and one to the right of the wide-angle interior mirror. There is also a storage area on the upper right side of the cab. Below this storage area is a dome light and a radio if equipped. This concludes the controls and safety system portion of this video. It's recommended you review the operator's manual to become more familiar with the machine controls and features before operating.